Next step for us will be colors around the table. What we can do is change the color of the lines. So what we did before is the fill color, but also, as you remember, as I previously explained, you can change the border color of each cell. So this also works for the color of any column or any table you want to change. So for example, by choosing the middle column, you change the borders and the line color this way. Any lines you want, yeah, over here. Okay, by clicking escape. Let's zoom in. Okay, you see the color over here is changed. Maybe let's choose a bit of different color for this one. Yeah, this will be much more visible. Okay, and escape. And you see the color is changed. Also, you can change the line style, because we've been focusing till now for the visual effects, but you can also, as one of more visual effects, you can also change the border style from one singular line, as we have usually, to dots and any other variations of them. You can see the double line as in the underlining, as I explained before. We can choose hard on thick lines. You can choose, well, basically everything you see over here. So your next exercise will be to create a line around the entire table in whichever style you prefer. Just please remember that the style has to be different than the default one. So maybe let's choose the red color, and let's choose also this style over here, and just put it around the entire table. Next off, we want to insert some shapes. So to do this, we need to click on this icon, which has the shape menu. And you can see over here a large variety of shapes, from simple lines to even the text box, to any type of shapes Excel provides. Let's choose a few of these shapes to look on the topic of visual effects which we can do on these shapes. So let's create a square. What can we do with it? Well, basically anything you want. From changing the color, as usual, you have the color in the paint part of the font. So let us change it to orange, maybe. Okay. What else can we do? Let's change the frame, because right now the frame is not very visual. To do this, you have to double click on the format, because as I said before, when you go to the home part, you don't really have many options to work with the drawing tools. You basically can only change the fill color. So as with tables, over here we can see the format tab being shown at the moment of clicking on any item. So if I click here, you can see it popping up as a design for tables, and if I click here for the shape, you can see it showing up as the format tab. Okay, so this is the format tab. Over here you have 5 parts in this tab: the insert shapes, shape styles, word art styles, arrange, and size. Well, size is pretty obvious. Yeah, you want it to be, if you want the shape to be exactly in the size you want it to be, you can just put it in here, and you see a perfect square right now. Okay, next, as I said, we want to change the frame. So to do this, you have typical frame styles you want. You can choose any type of from the variety over here. Let me choose 2 different as usual. So let's say this one. So you have a simple square. Let's copy it, or no, let's just not copy it, and let's put in a new shape. Maybe a star would be good. Okay. Maybe a smiley face. And, well, text box, we'll explain that later, and maybe some type of an arrow. Yeah, just a typical one. So, if you want to work with shapes, usually you use them for PowerPoint presentations. So maybe let's change just a few different styles for these. Maybe a typical yellow one here, and a blue one. Yeah. So I chose 4 different styles. So please do the same. Just choose 4 different shapes from the format menu. You have it over here, or also you can choose it from Insert, and from over here you choose the shapes from the recent used shapes, or from the lines or basic shapes, whichever. Just choose 4 different shapes, and after so click on them, go to format, and over here just choose the style you prefer. Okay. After this, let's do the shape outline. For example, you can change the width of the line, so maybe 6 point. Yeah, that's pretty good. Maybe 2.5 here, and dashes for here. Okay. Next, let's do the shape effects. Okay, so what are the shape effects? In Excel from version 2007, you have the possibility of changing the shadow on each and every piece of shapes you are using. So presently it has no shape, no shadow or any extra alignment or 3D options or any other. So as for the previous ones, I will just use a few alterations. Maybe a reflection here, so you can see the smiley face's reflection. Great. Maybe the soft edge. Let's soften the edges a bit. Here you can see the amount of points, how much you soften the edges. Just to show you how this works, let's use 50. You almost, you just don't see it right now. Let's use 10 now. You see it right now. It's the edges, and well, the entire box is more visual for you right now. And 1 point, barely anything is happening. So the effect is, well, basically what you just saw. Next, what else can we do? Well, here you have the shadowing, as I said, the outer shadowing and inner shadowing. And this shadowing shows the shadow outside of the shape, and this shows it inside. Also, you can change the perspective of the lighting. So as if the light is over here is as if the light is coming from the right corner edge, or from above, or from the left. It's just up to you. Next, reflection. So this is the reflection of the shape. It works as if there was some water or a mirror under the shape, or from actually any other angle. It's from you can choose this from the menu for the format shape, and over here you have the possibility for even more advanced work you can do with the shape. So if you want to change the glow, if you want to soften the edges a bit more, if you want to do a 3D model or change it as if it was 3D, let's make it okay, and now you can see, so you can see the 3D variation. Here we change the size. You can change some properties by moving by changing the size of the shape. You can see that we have the transparency possibility of changing, the size of the reflection, the blur, even the distance of the light. You would just have to test all of these out just to see how they work, and in the future it will be very effective if you are fluent in using all of these, because usually they are very useful. Here you can see a different way of filling in the color of the shape. So maybe an orange one. Yeah, maybe a picture or texture or a gradient fill would be also nice. As you can see, there are so many options of working with the shape by changing anything you want in it, if you want it to be 3D or anything else. Also, one more thing, which I don't see in here, you can change the degree in which the shape or the angle, oh, here it is. So you can change it in two ways. By simply grabbing it over here and just moving it around. If you leave it like this, it will stay like this. You can change the angle of the star also. Please note that the 3D also changes. It changes the angle of the visual effect. The most used shape is actually the arrow. It is usually used for any type of presentations in which you want to point to some kind of important news. I wouldn't really recommend using any of these stars and banners because these are really not well seen professionally. I don't see really many uses for these. The most used are, as I said, the arrows, maybe the lines, but mostly the basic shapes, the arrows, sometimes the equation shapes if you want to create a presentation. But as I said, Excel is not a main presentation program in Excel. That would be PowerPoint. Okay, next option. If we go to arrange, you can see it saying bring forward, send backward, select pane, align, and rotate. Well, the rotate option is pretty obvious. It simply rotates or flips the shape. The bring forward and send backward, what does this mean? Well, what if you have two shapes and they are covering each other? You can see the star actually covering the rectangle below. How can we do it to make the rectangle go above the star? Well, you simply click bring forward or send backward. These buttons are used mainly for acquiring different points of view for each and every shape. You can put any shape you want in front or in back. So you have a few different layers of shapes one on another. There's also this way is much more efficient if you have the exact rotation point you want it to be at. You can rotate it by 90 degrees to left to right, flip vertically, which is basically just flip it from up to down, and flip it horizontally, which is just flipping it from left to right. You have more rotation options as usual with this type of things in Excel. You can use the rotation by exact degree you want it to go. Usually, if you want it to go right, you simply write, let's say, plus 90, which is for this topic simply 90. It will rotate 90 degrees. But if you want it to go to the 0 point, you just push 0. And if you want it to rotate 90 degrees, but on the to the left, you just push minus 90. So this is the very basic usage of going around with the shapes. What I want you to do right now is pick 3 shapes you have. For me it will be the smiley face, the star, and the square. And as you see them right now, please make the smiley face go to the back, but the absolute back, which means you have to push it 3 times, because the star also had the command of going back. So if you push it only once, it will only skip one shape, but if you push it twice, it will go to the back. Of course, you can push send to back as an obsolete command. What I will just show you right now, send to back, and it will jump to the absolute back, which is the furthest it can go. Or you can push just send back, and it will skip only once. So I want you to change places for each of these. So if my smiley face is in the front, I want it to be in the back, but in the absolute back. Okay. I want you to take the square a bit back, which is the middle, and the star, which was on the back, to go to the front. Also, pick the arrow, make it point to the star. I will use the very simple command, which is just grab and drop, but I want you to do this by writing my 180 degrees, but here, by hand. Just to let you know, 180, not 1080, but 180, and it points exactly to the star. This is it for shapes management. Let's go back to the tables a bit more. I will zoom into this table. I believe some of you might have wondered, why is there this menu on the right of each and every column? Well, this is also a new feature in Excel 2013. Beforehand, you had to mark and make this menu to show on the tables, but right now it's built in the typical design. So if you choose any type of different designs, you will see the tables as also having this menu. Okay, so what does it do? Well, basically this is a menu for sorting. So if you have like different names in one column, so this one would be probably the best. If you have different names or even different letters, you can sort them alphabetically or any other way you see fit. How to do this? Well, first off, you can see it. You can see the possibility of sorting from A to Z or Z to A. You can also sort it by color. So if you mark each and every of these cells with different colors, let's do this right now. It will make it possible. Maybe the green a bit more. It will make it possible to sort it by these specific colors. Oh, one more thing I probably forgot to show you previously. It's this format printer. If you have a specific format in one cell, you can push it and change the format of the above cell. So if you want to copy any type of format for any of those cells, it's very useful to do this over here. Yeah, okay, this should be enough. Okay, so first off, you have the select menu below. You select the pieces of data you want to be sorted. Of course, please remember that if you unmark them all, it won't be possible to sort. So you need to sort at least one data. So this menu also allows you to sort it just to allow yourself printing to be much easier. If we had two cells with the same word, let's do this right now. But first off, I have to move this part a bit lower. If we had the same parts a few times over, let's do it and see what happens. Okay, so we have the exact same words below, and the table is now much longer. Let's also do the same thing for this column, and same for this column. Okay, so if you have the same exact words, which it doesn't really matter because you can simply put in a letter, but let's say these are names and surnames. What you can do is sort them by, let's say, you want to push AS, okay, and you see how many AS names you have in the table. We had 3. But let's say you want to sort also KL. So we had 1, 2 KL and 1 through 3 AS. Let's see them all. And this basically allows you to find names or surnames in a vast amount of data. So maybe skip this one. Okay, what else can you do? Well, as I said, sort from A to Z. Data is sorted from alphabetically from A to Z, AS, BD, okay, and from Z to A. And please remember that this alphabet being used right here is the typical English alphabet. So if your country has a different alphabet, you have to know that the version of Excel or Windows you are using, this version of alphabet this command uses. Okay, let's use the sort by color. You can see that Excel shows us how many different colors are there in this column. And since, let me mark this, and let's use, okay, so let's sort by the green. Let's use the also the blue one and the green one, and this is how it basically works. Or no fill, because the colors of the typical table style over here is shown as no color, because this is only used for graphic orientation in the table. But to use the color sorting, you need to input a different color by inputting it from over here, which is the fill color, and you input the different color for those for this data. Just to prove it to you. And now let's do the no fill part and see it's shorter right now. So after inputting the blue color, it sorted itself out in a different way.